One guy, in his spare time, made a game about digital building blocks. No story, no goal, just a world made of cubes you could dig up and stack back together however you liked. He sold it before it was even finished, and a few years later, Microsoft bought it for $2.5 billion. Then they quietly scrubbed his name off the game's title screen. This is the story of Minecraft, and the strangest part is that the game is now far more famous than the man who made it. That man is Markus Persson, a Swedish programmer who went by the handle Notch. In 2009, borrowing the idea from an older game about mining blocks, he started building something in his free time, a rough little world of cubes where you could break any block and place it somewhere else. That was basically it. No instructions, no windscreen, and somehow that was the magic. Now here's the genuinely radical bit, and it's not the blocks, it's the business. Notch started selling Minecraft while it was still half built. You paid once, cheaply, for an unfinished game, and in return you got every update forever as he made it. The players were funding the development in real time. Today, half the industry calls that early access. Back then, it was almost unheard of, and it worked spectacularly. Because the game spread the way the best ones do. Not through advertising, but through people showing each other what they'd built. Word of mouth, screenshots, and a wave of early YouTubers turned it into a phenomenon. The money started pouring in, and in 2010, Notch co-founded a studio, Mojang, to keep up with the thing he'd accidentally created. And what people built was the whole point. Minecraft barely tells you to do anything. Survive the first night while monsters spawn in the dark, or flip on the creative mode and build a working computer, or a castle, or a one-to-one model of your school. It wasn't really a game with an ending. It was a box of infinite digital Lego, and nobody could agree on what it was even for, which is exactly why everybody loved it. By the time Minecraft officially left unfinished and got its full release in late 2011, it was already enormous, and Notch was stepping back, handing the lead over to a colleague, Jens Bergensten, known as Jeb. And then, in September 2014, the offer came that changed everything. Microsoft bought Mojang and Minecraft for $2.5 billion. Notch walked away one of the richest men in gaming. He bought a mansion in Beverly Hills for a reported $70 million, reportedly outbidding Jay-Z and Beyonce for it. And then he sat in it and tweeted something that's stuck with people ever since, that he'd never felt more isolated. That when you can buy literally anything, you sort of run out of reasons to get out of bed. The richest he'd ever been, and by his own account, the emptiest. And from there, things curdled. Free of the game and surrounded by money, Notch spent more and more time online posting, and a lot of what he posted turned bitter, conspiratorial, and offensive. Bad enough that Microsoft, who now owned Minecraft, started backing away from him. They scrubbed his name from the title screen splash text, though he did stay credited as the creator in the small print. And when Minecraft celebrated its 10th anniversary, the man who'd created the whole thing was not invited. Which leads to the genuinely strange situation Minecraft is in today. Under Microsoft and under Jeb, it just kept getting bigger. It became, and by most counts still is, the best-selling video game of all time. Hundreds of millions of copies, played by a whole generation of kids who could not tell you who Notch is and have no reason to care. The creation didn't just outlive the creator, it outgrew him completely, and then carried on without him. So, what do you do with a story like that? Notch looked at the biggest game he could ever make, took $2.5 billion, and walked away from it. And the game pressed continue without him, and barely noticed he was gone. Whether that's the happiest ending in gaming or the loneliest one, I'll let you decide. If you want more stories behind the games you grew up on, you know what to press. Hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.